All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out my channel. So I'm actually going to be doing a video today on priorities regarding when going to the gym or when in the gym. And what I mean by this is a lot of people who work out in the gym or any type of workout, usually we want to get the best out of every workout. We also, depending on what we want to do, we want to make sure we're getting the results we want to get, right? But here's the thing, a lot of times I think what we neglect more than anything is prioritizing certain things to give us the results we need. So let's just take, for instance, a lot of guys I know that work out in the gym. They do full body workouts, right? Chest, shoulders, back, legs, back, buys, tries, whatever the hell I'm saying. And they want to get certain results, good results from top to bottom, their entire body. But a lot of times they are lacking certain things, right? And they want to make those improvements. It could be core, it could be their arms, it could be chest, whatever the case may be. What people need to do is prioritize. And how you kind of do that is first realizing what you lack, obviously. So I'm going to jump on a treadmill, put this up here real quick. So let me give you another example. For instance, a lot of people come to me and they say, Rich, I get great results except with my core or my stomach area, right? And a lot of guys, regardless what age they are, they either want a 4-pack, 6-pack, 8-pack, or just want to be tight in that area. But they don't prioritize that necessarily. They go in, they do abs, maybe twice a week, whatever the case may be, but they're not specifically hitting that as hard as they can. Also not learning on how to hit that correctly as well. By watching videos, by reading, studying, and really bringing the intensity to that area. So back to priority. When working out and kind of falling in ruts or getting bored or just working out in general, something I do is every month or every couple months, I make something on my body, because this is weightlifting basically, I make that a priority to try to improve on that. And how I do that is by studying where I'm kind of lacking. So sometimes I'll be either visually looking at my body saying, wow, what happened? Your tries look a little smaller, and when you're benching, it feels a little weaker. Wow, your calves, you look like you lost some size. And when you're doing legs or doing calves, I can tell you're getting a little weaker. Or if I'm doing, for instance, even chest. I'm getting older, so I can see my chest kind of, maybe lacking in certain areas. I'll be like, well, I want to do some more incline or flies or whatever the case may be. I set certain priorities, which makes me focus in on that area. And I always talk about, too, is having a backup. How would I say this? Like a priority on top of another priority. So say, for instance, you even cardio. Say you run. A lot of times you're going to be like wanting to make specific times, right? To test on how well you're doing. And a lot of times when you're doing things like this, so I'm going to use running as an example, is not only running for your time, you need to see where you can improve and what you're lacking. So if you do make one priority, I want to be as fast as I can, or even if it's for a marathon, a decathlon, whatever the case may be, if it's basing a lot of it on time, what can I do to keep improving on my time, but not necessarily just running faster, if that makes sense. So you may be like, wow, I'm going to try to work my quads a little harder. I'm going to work my hands, my glutes, maybe your calves, maybe lose weight. Maybe whatever the case may be, you have a backup kind of priority on top of that priority. I know a lot of things I say on these videos sounds crazy, and again, that goes for I'll even go back to the core area. A lot of guys, when they're bigger in the midsection, let's say, and they work out, and then they lose a lot of weight, right? All of a sudden they shrink. Their body almost looked better when they had a bigger midsection than sometimes when they get smaller. Because what happens is their core gets small, that looks great, now the rest of their body almost deflates, and then they're like, wow, I may feel better, I may look thinner, but I don't look as big or as shapely as I once was to a certain degree, even though you may have been a little bigger in the stomach, but once you lost a lot of weight, you just look much different. So what you again have to do is prioritize to get to what you want to get to on the next phase, if that kind of makes sense. And here's the thing regarding prioritizing your workouts again. Something I do is I look and say, okay, once I get to this certain point and hopefully improve on it, what is the next move? So there's a next phase of it. So for instance, if I want to improve, let's go back to something as simple as saying I want to improve on my arms, because I think a lot of guys, men, women, doesn't matter, they want, a really fit looking arm, right? So let's start concentrating this month or two really on arms besides just regularly working them out. I'm going to try different exercises. I'm going to try different, all these different ways to kind of stimulate that. I'm going to work even harder at doing it, and I'm going to expect different results. But the one thing I'm also thinking about is if my arms get bigger, my bis or tris, what's my forearms going to look like, right? Because if you don't work your forearms, they're going to look smaller. Your bis and tris are going to look bigger. Again, you have to think about the next phase. And I see that a lot with people. Even lately, even with women, a lot of times I see a lot of them are working their ass, their glutes, right? A lot of their hams are even being worked, and their quads. Then all of a sudden I'm looking at their calves, and they look like two little stems. So again, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you're looking for. But again, you want to have a full foundation. So if you're thinking, I'm going to prioritize and say, you know what, this is, the month or whatever, I'm going to really get my ass in shape the way I want it to look, or I want my legs to look this way. Don't forget other body parts or other areas of the body that are basically kind of attached to that also kind of work in sync with that. And I see that a lot with back, actually. A lot of guys don't properly work out their back. And I've been saying this for so many years. And you can kind of tell sometimes in the gym, if you look, probably 8 out of 10 guys have a decent back. Now, a lot of that's genetics, but a lot of them just truly never learned how to work their back correctly or get the right. They want to do traps as well, but mainly it's back is what I'm talking about. But they just don't get that V. And the reason being is, 1, they don't know how to do it. 2, they don't make it a priority. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to look wide, like besides shoulders, your back is going to give you that width. That's going to give you that tapered look. And it's just going to literally, the stronger your back gets, the better you're going to feel upper body wise. I'm going to tell you right now, and you have to do it again. I'm going to say this again. You have to learn how to do back correctly, not just go to all these different types of equipment and think just by pulling the weight a certain way, certain amount of times, certain amount of reps, certain amount of sets is going to make you look great, or it's going to work. Back does not work like that. You have to learn how to really put your mind into muscle and squeeze your lats, intensify that area, stretch, and really blow that out. And again, if you get a bigger back, bigger upper body, also think about your legs and vice versa. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you got some type of idea what I'm talking about as far as prioritizing your workouts, regardless what you're doing. There's always room to improve. Also study your body to see what you're lacking. Put all the dots together. And you can make improvements. You'd be shocked on anything you're doing. Like I was just describing, running. I don't care if you're cycling. I don't care if you're a surfer. Even if you're surfing, hypothetically, you could start to learn how to swim better to build certain muscles, get your wind up. There's always room to grow. You just got to learn to prioritize those things and pay attention to them. All right? I'll wrap it up there. If you get a chance, you might want to check my podcast out, The Rich Celenza Show. WTF are you talking about? I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All right? All right, I'm going to leave it there. Take care, and if you're traveling, safe travels.